you've never seen it before. Because in every McDonald's Happy Meal, I can get an exclusive Bobblehead vehicle. Inspired by Star Wars The Clone Wars, rated PG. Now in theaters. This is huge.
Hello me folks, and welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be about the McDonald's Star Wars Bobblehead set. A set of 18 toys released in 2008. Man, it took me a long time to film this video and make it and post it. By the time I post this, I'm sure it'll be June 1st or something. It took me over a month just to film this and put it all together. I can't even describe how hard it was. I had to reshoot a couple of toys a couple times. Ventress and Boba Fett were the hardest for me for some reason. I just kept screwing it up somehow or saying something stupid and just had to reshoot because I wasn't happy with the clip or the final product. I had to reshoot a lot of them because I just wasn't saying the things I wanted to say. But at the end of the day, I got it all done, and here we are now, finishing and wrapping up production. This will be the final clip I have to do. Even though it is the intro, I did the outro and intro last. So the actual clips of the individual toys actually came first. Luckily for me, some of them I just got right on the money, like Darth Vader. I honestly had to get him on the money because if I didn't, I basically just have to leave him opened because he was a one-time open, right? Because he was actually sealed. So I had to really get him good the first time because you can only open the bag once, and that's about it. And I wanted to actually get you guys to see me opening one of these toys, so just to make it 10 times more special, since all of my toys are basically used or pre-owned, and not all of them work. Like I said, I have to say one thing before we actually get started. I had a couple things that came up in May. Like, I've been really busy. I've had a lot of work to do and stuff. And actually, around in beginning of June, that's coming up, the month coming up right now, I have surgery coming up around the 9th and 10th. So I have to prep around there. And so I'm hoping I get this video up and on YouTube before then. I'm sure I will. Because, I'm already done production. I just have to edit and then put it onto YouTube and publicly, put it on public. So, yeah, just post it and that's about it. But yeah, I gotta say one more thing before I upload. Ahsoka, let me tell you, was the hardest toy in this set to find. I'm not gonna lie, I had to go across my town, or not town, city, just to pick her up, because luckily for me, I got her off of Facebook Marketplace. Someone in my city was actually selling her, and I got lucky and requested that I just buy her, and I bought her for like 15 bucks, so honestly that was better than having to pay 30 bucks on eBay for shipping. But yeah, I mean, I'm just happy that I have them all. If you can find these in their bags, original bags, and all sealed and they all work, then I would honestly suggest for you to buy them and pick them up. They're one hell of a thing to have. I mean, this is one hell of a collection to have on your display or have at home. I mean, it's something you definitely should get if you can get your hands on it. I know a lot of Star Wars fans didn't like these toys for some reason. I guess they thought or felt that they were uncanny with the faces, but honestly, I feel like they're pretty good. The gimmicks and all that can kind of get repetitive, but other than that, I mean, they're pretty good toys, not gonna lie. Of course, mine don't all work, but that's basically really all I have to say. I mean, if you can find these brand new, pick them up. I mean, it doesn't hurt if they're really cheap. Like, I got mine for $2 a piece, so yeah. Anyways, I guess we should start filming, or moving on to actually reviewing the toys. So yeah, let's dig in. Alright, before we review Young Skywalker, I just wanted to mention how happy I am and how grateful I am that I have hit 200 subscribers. It's actually kind of above that now, but it doesn't matter. I I have appreciated how many subscribers I have gotten over the years. Like, it just blows me away. I never thought in a million years I'd ever even hit 100 subscribers, not alone 200 and something subscribers. I'm just thankful. I mean, I review toys and do, weird videos. I mean, I never thought I'd ever gain a fan base that big. I mean, I only do this for fun. I don't make money. I just do it for pleasure. It's nice to show people the stuff that I've collected for years and years. It's basically my childhood, a lot of this stuff. But a lot of it came before me, so a lot of it's like the 90s and 80s. But yeah, I mean, this is something that I actually got to grow up with, which was Star Wars and Star Wars: The Clone Wars. So it really means something making these videos. I mean, to show something that not a lot of people have. But yeah, I've always kind of been the guy that's laid back when it comes to subscribers. Like, I'm happy. I do care for the amount I have, but it means I just do this for fun, and I'm not one of those YouTubers that rub it in everybody's faces or post it and all that. I don't make it too much of a big deal, but it is a big deal deep down inside that I am very happy of and appreciative about all the subscribers and all the fans that I have, gained over the years. So it's really nice to see. But anyways, I guess we should start reviewing young Skywalker. He's got his Phase 1 Starfighter, Jedi Starfighter. I'm just going to call it that because I know they have basically a different Starfighter around the Revenge of the Sith timeline, I guess, era of Star Wars. I could put a picture in the video of what the fighter looks like. I'm sure everyone knows. I mean, who hasn't seen Revenge of the Sith yet? I mean, come on. I swear there's like those YouTubers that are reacting to Revenge of the Sith. Like, were you not watching it back in like 2005? I mean, come on. Who wasn't watching it? Who didn't watch Star Wars when it was released? I mean, come on. Biggest film and franchise that has ever existed. But yeah, I mean, this one's been played with. They all have. I mean, I all bought them secondhand. I mean, I used to have a couple of them when they came out. I've had some. I had Yoda, pretty sure, and also Ewok, because those were my very first ones I ever got. But I don't know where mine went. I must have lost them at some point over the years. I don't exactly know what happened to them. They maybe got destroyed or something. But yeah, we can tell that Anakin's got his nice starfighter because he's got his yellow paint job there, paint work. He's even got a little R2 unit right ahead there. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's pretty cool. R2 unit there. Not very detailed or painted, but it is there. Yeah, basically everything you see here. It is a wind-up, so it does, if I can get it to work, it does go forward. It is a 2008 made for McDonald's, so it ain't no knockoff or bootleg. There is a little bit of damage to the eyebrow and the hairline there on the left side, which is a shame, but he does have a scar, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool detailing. They didn't have to include that, but they did, so good for them. Oh yeah, and he's even got a little bit of damage on the top of his head too. I don't know what that is. Is that just paint? Just the paint's coming off, or what? I don't know. A couple scratches here and there, but pretty good. Pretty good for a 2008 toy. This is kind of the time where McDonald's stopped making good quality toys. I mean, I can remember at least it was like 2010. Around the 2010 era, where they stopped making good toys, so I'm not really sure. But anyways, that's really all I have to say about Skywalker. I guess we should move on to the second toy in our list. Alright, hopefully I get this right on the money, because once I open the bag, I can't reseal it, so I want to make sure I get this clip perfect. I'm going to be opening this one, so this one will stay sealed. And yeah, I guess we should start, and hopefully we don't mess this clip up. But yeah, I'm going to try to open up Darth Vader. Hopefully I'll be able to do it. If I can remember how to open these properly. Sorry I'm not showing you guys me opening it, but here it is opened. We'll take a look at the bag in a minute. Actually, I'll dump it out right in front of you. You can get the shot you guys all have been waiting for me to actually be opening a Happy Meal toy. So yeah, here he is, the man himself, Darth Vader, with his TIE Fighter. I'm trying to see how this works. I might not be putting this together right. Let's look at the instructions to how this goes. Yeah, so here's the instructions and the actual pamphlet, I guess you can say. There's all the bobbleheads right there, all 18. At least I think so. I hope so. I mean, fake advertising if not. But yeah, 2008 Lucasfilm. Before Disney killed it. Yeah. Definitely a relic of the past. There's the instructions. I'll have to zoom in. Hold on. So you guys can see. I might as well zoom in so you guys can see Vader better anyways in focus. So there you guys have it. There's the instructions to how to put them together. And here's the front. You guys can see that in focus. You know, one character they're missing is Commander Cody. That's kind of a disappointment right there. They have Commander Rex, but they didn't even include Commander Cody. That is a real shame. They could have made this 19 bobbleheads real easy. Or they could have made a part 2 to this. I mean, they could have included him into another Happy Meal set, but they just didn't, which is a real shame for all those Cody fans. I included, I mean. So let's look here. I want to look at the instructions to see how this is put together. So I'm seeing... There's no way it just sits in there like that, right? I mean... No. Am I putting it in the wrong one? Oh, okay. Is it going this one? Ah, okay, there we go. I'll put the other wing on. Just like that. But man, for Darth Vader, he's already scratched up, unless that's like fur. No, he's scratched up already. Wow. This one must have been like bashed around in its bag. Anyways, there's Darth Vader. There is a gimmick to him. Oh, he has a little switch. All right. There's a little button in the back. Cool little wobble. Let's see what it does. See if it does anything. Okay, yeah, the audio is totally kafoofed. It's so old that the audio just doesn't work anymore. Or the batteries have just died. You can kind of hear it. I can't tell or make out the noise is. It might be the TIE Fighter shooting. I'm guessing this is from New Hope, because this is the only time we see that's the only time we see Darth Vader in a TIE Fighter, so I mean, I thought the wings would like come off or something or pop off, but I guess not. It just makes noise. But yeah, I guess that's the only gimmick besides its head bobbling around. But yeah, there you have it, Darth Vader. We'll take a look at the bag, I guess. We're going in order. This is toy number 2, so we are actually going in order this time. So yeah, it says Darth Vader on the front. I gotta zoom out. There's no way you guys are gonna enjoy this. So yeah, there's the Golden Arches logo with the Star Wars logo in black with the stripes along the edge. And that's in French or Spanish. I'm not really sure. And there's a little bit of writing on the bottom. And all the warnings and that on the back. Nothing really too special. But it's nice. This is like basically a time capsule basically from 2008. Which is really cool. That's kind of why I want to keep one of them in their bags. Because I just think it's really cool to have a time capsule or a McDonald's toy still in its bag. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Darth Vader. Moving on to toy number 3. Alright, taking a look at our third toy, we have the good old Ewok from Return of the Jedi with his little speeder bike. Quick, long history lesson, I guess I could say. I used to have the exact same toy growing up as a child. I don't exactly remember what happened to it. I guess that's a good thing. I think I either got it stolen from a damn teacher or something back in elementary or public school, whatever you want to call it. I can't exactly remember, but I could have even lost it in the yard while playing with it one day. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I got it stolen from a damn teacher from elementary school. If you can't tell, I hate school and I hate public school in general and teachers in general. But yeah, this guy's got a little bit of paint errors. I mean, they all kind of do. Besides a couple of them, they're spot on. But with mine, it's got a little bit of the hair paint kind of covering the hoodie thing that the Ewok is wearing. I love the detail when it comes to the speeder bike, the molded detailing. It's kind of just they didn't really paint anything, but they just molded it on there. They sculpted into the plastic. Everything's plastic with this toy. It bobbles like it's supposed to. But yeah, there's just little bits of paint here and there, and that's basically about it. That's all I can say is stitch work and all that. Mine unfortunately doesn't work anymore with the gimmick. It's a wind up. You're supposed to pull it back and it's supposed to go forward, if you can't tell by the noise it just made. But unfortunately, I mean, for a 16-year-old toy, the gears and the axle have probably gotten worn out or tired over the years and basically just have given up. I mean, it could even be that there's hair in the axle. Sometimes hair will get up in between these cracks, and they'll get wound up into the axle, and they'll just stop the axle from moving. And that sometimes happens with wind-up toys. But with this one here, I just think the gears, the mechanism inside the plastic, just have given up. Some of these, I can't promise all these toys from this set will work. I mean, if you can't tell from the Darth Vader that we just opened, his voice box has just died. It just won't work. I mean, the batteries are probably pooped, or just totally corroded, because batteries corrode after a long time. So I don't expect all these to work properly. I mean, I wasn't lucky enough to get them all as a kid and get them all brand new. So, anyways, that's really all I have to say about the Ewok. He is really cute. I'm not gonna lie. He's probably the cutest in this lineup of toys, or the set that we have right here. So, anyways, let's take a look at our fourth toy, and yeah. Taking a look at number 4, we have C-3PO and the Land Speeder from New Hope. This one is nostalgic, I'm not gonna lie. It's probably one of the first vehicles we ever see in Star Wars, from 1977. Yeah, it's very simple, I'm not gonna lie. There are some dents and damage for the Land Speeder, just a little bit of detail. They didn't have to include the dent, but they did. I mean, then there's the missing engine cover, or whatever you want to call it. No paint like all the rest. All the vehicles in this set don't really have much paint. For C-3PO's head, they really got the C-3PO look from the Clone Wars, so they got that spot on. But yeah, he is a rolling feature for his gimmick. We'll see a lot of those in this set. Nothing too special. I was honestly surprised this wasn't a wind-up or something, a pushback or a pullback or something. Because, I mean, when we see the land speeder in the film, it's really fast, so it would have made a great pullback feature toy. But yeah, for C-3PO, he's in really good condition. This whole toy is in good condition. I mean, we can zoom in. We can just take a look at the head. It's really not very many scratches. There's a couple here and there, but I can't be surprised. But yeah, C-3PO. I'll zoom back out if I can. Don't want to zoom out too much because then it won't be in focus. I'll be as good as that's gonna get. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about C-3PO and the land speeder. Guess we should move on to number 5. At number 5, we have Padme Amidala with her Royal Starship. This one is just a rolling feature bobblehead. There's nothing more to it than that, just like C-3PO. I have double. I have one in the bag, sealed, never been opened. I thought I had to because, I mean, I'm trying to get as many of these as possible. We'll take a look at the bagged one in a minute. But the unfortunate part about the one I have opened is her hairs. Just her hairline is just not painted at all. I don't know if I can zoom in. But her hairline is just awful. It is not... I mean, it doesn't look as bad on camera than it does in person, but it is not very nice. It does not look good. But other than that, I mean, I want to say land speeder, but it's a Royal Starship. That's what it's called. I'm sure it's called something in the actual movies, but I'm reading off of Google, and that's what it says. It just says Royal Starship. So yeah, very nice. It very much so looks like the Clone Wars Padme from the series. So they did a really good job on that. She's in pretty good condition if you don't count the hairline. I mean, no scratches or anything. So, and she can roll around and fly away. Just like all of them, they're very simple design. I mean, there's no paint work on the actual ship itself. But yeah, I mean, it's really nice though. It's nicely sculpted. So yeah, it's basically all I have to say about Padme Amidala, or Senator Padme, or whatever. But yeah, I'll take a look at the bag. Here's the Clone Wars bag for Padme Amidala. I will zoom out for you guys so you guys can see it. You know, the sad thing is she actually has a nice hairline. At least that's what I think. Yeah, she's got a better hairline than the one that I have opened. But you can see the instructions in there too. Can't really see them because they're all crumpled up. But yeah, it's nice to see some of the bags and some of the toys still in their bags. I can't say that enough. So I'm going to keep her in her bag. But you guys can take a look at it. Because, man, why not? Why not show you guys the bags, man? They're rare as hell. They're going to be almost impossible to find in maybe 20 years or so. So, yeah. Who knows, man? Who knows? Anyways, that's really all I have to say about Padme Amidala. And moving on to our next one. At number 6, we have the Stormtrooper with an AT-AT from Empire Strikes Back. I gotta say, this is a cool one to have. It's very common at the comic store that's downtown. I saw like maybe 3 of these guys. I might have even saw one in their bag. I'm going to wind it up and we'll see how good it works. And then we'll take a closer look at it afterwards. That's if I can wind it up. It's very hard because there's just a small little knob here where you have to get your fingers on. And it's like really stubborn. Anyways, let's see what it does. It falls over. Oh, come on. Don't fall over, please. Okay, honestly, I'm kind of a bit disappointed. I thought it was actually going to be better than that, but oh well. I mean, I I I I don't know why they only have the back legs moving unless the front legs are supposed to move, but from what I saw, I did not. I'm going to rewind it just again just to watch that. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's because of the uneven surface. No, they just don't move. The front legs do not move. And it's kind of just stuck in place. That sucks. Does the head turn? No, the head does not turn. It is on there just like that. Shoot. This one is very unstable if you can't tell. But yeah, the helmet is pretty nice for the Stormtrooper. See if I can take a closer look. I do have to adjust my tripod for this guy because he's so tall comparing to the others. Yeah, mine's a little bit scratched up with the, I don't know what to call it, the visor. It's got a little bit of scratches with the helmet itself, but I mean, I'm not surprised when the helmet is a white helmet. These all have been played with, so yeah, not too bad. I'm not too big on the moving AT-AT. I think they kind of let it down there because they could have made all four legs move and it would have been a lot better. But yeah, I mean, I think I had this guy growing up, but I might have lost him or sold him. I'm not quite sure. He's a really cool one to have, so if you can get him, I would highly recommend. I mean, of course, he's probably on like the lowest demand one because he's not that good, but comparing to the rest, I mean, I'd rather get the others, but hey, it is something to look into if you're a big Stormtrooper fan or an Empire fan. Galactic Empire, I should say. But yeah, it's a good toy to have if you're a big fan of that. But yeah, I guess that's basically all I have to say. He's a pretty simple toy to have. I mean, he doesn't really do much besides the two legs at the back move. So yeah, I guess we should move on to number 7. At number 7, we have Master Yoda with the Republic gunship. Man, this takes me back. We got to see a lot of the gunship in the Clone Wars and Attack of the Clones, as well as Revenge of the Sith. So this was one of the most common filmed vehicles of Star Wars, at least in the Clone Wars era or the prequel era of Star Wars. So yeah, this was actually one of my favorite toys growing up in this set. I actually had a duplicate of this exact toy, but somehow I lost it, or sometime a couple years back I lost it. I don't know how, I don't know why, and I don't know where. But yeah, this is one of my favorite vehicles of all time in Star Wars. This one is a Switch. It doesn't have any wheels. It just kind of makes noise because it has a speaker in the back. It kind of just said dialogue that Yoda would say in the Clone Wars, like the forces be with you always, or something like that. But it hasn't worked in quite some time. I have played around with the Switch and the button that's you guys can see on the side. But it just doesn't do anything. I mean, I'm sure the batteries are dead. A lot of the toys in this set, you will find that their batteries are depleted and they don't work anymore. Some of them we will get lucky and some of them will work, but a lot of them, and at the most part, a lot of them just don't work. Luckily for me though, even though the batteries are dead with this toy, the toy itself is in really good condition. Not a single scratch on Yoda's head or the Republic gunship. I always like I don't know, the look of the Republic gunship is always nice. For some reason though, the turrets look like they're in their frowns. I don't know if it's just me, or does that look like a sad face or an angry face? I'm not sure, but to me, they always just look like, in for this toy at least, maybe not in the films or the show, but they just look like angry faces, miserable faces. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say about Yoda. You can kind of spin him around too, but he's not very he's definitely will fall over. But yeah, let's move on to number 8. Taking a look at number 8, we have R2-D2 with the Naboo Starfighter. This one's a pretty simple one. It doesn't really do anything. I tried testing the button to see if it made any sound, and it doesn't. The button is actually supposed to be where the R2 unit is actually in the films. It's right here. I press it and it does nothing. And I know the switch is on. This one is probably in one of the worst conditions out of the whole set. I couldn't find one in the store that it was actually that actually looked better, so I had to just buy this one, and that was about it. I mean, at least I have the full set. I don't want to pay a whole bunch of money to go online and pay like $20 or $30 just for one little gimmicky toy. Cause shipping and all that is it's just way too much, especially for eBay. It used to be really cheap back in the day before the gas and all that, and just all the shipping costs just is too much. But yeah, this one's pretty simple. It's always funny to me how these are actually posable. They're very posable for being bobbleheads. I guess bobbleheads in general are posable, but they just shake their heads, I guess. I don't know. But you can turn the head of R2-D2 whatever way you want, and it'll stay that way, which is really nice. I appreciate that. Yeah, the Naboo Starfighter, I mean, what can I say about it? It's a molded piece of plastic with a bit of silver paint. Like I said, they didn't really paint much. They only painted what they had to, and then they left the rest up to you for imagination. Yeah, they didn't even paint the buttons for R2-D2. So, but they did paint the red and everything else. They got the glossy silver paint. So, hey, pretty cool. He's basically just a blade at this point. All you can do is spin him around. Yeah, that's all I have to say about him. He is a very good McDonald's toy if you can find him, I guess. A good addition to my collection. Alright, I guess we should take a look at number 9. Taking a look at number 9, we have Han Solo and the Millennium Falcon. This one's a pretty simple toy, not gonna lie. This one's just a pullback feature, but mine no longer works. It tries to... The wheels do make a little bit of sound, but they're just... The gears are all worn out, like a lot of the toys. My Han Solo is in really good condition, besides maybe a little bit of paint problems with his hair. It didn't fully paint the side there. I don't really know how to describe it or put it into words, but there's like a little bit of different shade of brown there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Right there. I guess you kind of can see it. Anyways, that's the only problem with my Han Solo. Other than that, he's in really good condition. No scratches. The Millennium Falcon is a pretty simple design. They didn't paint anything or do anything like that. It's a pretty simple plastic mold. They got the satellite dish, though. Right there. And they also got the nice cockpit. Other than that, though, it's pretty simple. I think mine might have a little bit of a dent right there for the Millennium Falcon. I don't know if you guys can see. I'll zoom in. Maybe it'll pick it up better. Right there, little chip. But other than that, pretty nice. You can see his head really in focus there. His face, anyways. That's really all I can say about Han Solo. I wish mine worked. Sorry about the disappointment there. I want to zoom out too. When is it? Okay, there it is. I don't want to zoom. There we go. Perfect. I don't want to zoom too far out or it won't focus on his face. My camera is just a little weird like that. But yeah, it's really all I can say about Han Solo and the Millennium Falcon. I mean, pretty simple design. I guess we should move on to our next one. Taking a look at number 10, we have good old Chewbacca and the AT-ST from Return of the Jedi, I assume. This one is actually a wind-up as well, just like the AT-AT. Hopefully it won't disappoint. I will wind it up. The wind-up is right there. It blends in really well. Well, sorta. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it won't disappoint. But, I mean, if it does, I wouldn't be surprised. So we'll find out. I'll put him toward, get him towards the camera. I think it's really cute how Chewbacca wobbles his head while the AT-ST moves. I think that's pretty cute. Yeah, honestly, it's a lot better than the AT-AT. I mean, it's got 2 legs and it moves farther than the AT-AT with the Stormtroopers. So, honestly, it didn't disappoint. It did pretty well for how old it is. Yeah, the sculpting is really nice for the AT-ST. It still wants to move. And not one single scratch on Chewbacca or the vehicle itself. Mine's in relatively really good condition. I wouldn't even say relatively. That's an understatement. It is in really good condition, like almost brand new. Maybe a collector had it or someone just opened it recently. And that's why it's not so scratched or damaged. Must have not had a lot of play. Like, I'm looking at Chewbacca's head, and there's not one paint blemish or something, or a scratch. It's very nice. He's very cute. I always find it funny that we see Chewbacca in the Clone Wars. It just tells you how long he's lived around for, how much he's seen. He's seen it all, like the Empire, the Republic dying, to Order 66, to Yoda cutting off Commander Gree's head. I mean, he's seen it all. I always find that funny. But yeah, that's gonna do it for number 10. That's all I really have to say. The only thing I just kind of find quirky or weird is the feet for the AT-ST. I mean, I know why they did that or why they designed it that way, just to make sure it didn't fall over or anything like what the Ewoks. Maybe the Empire should have done this for their AT-STs, because then they're not so... I mean, I guess it wouldn't matter. They'd still put a rope right around the legs and still make it fall. But yeah, those damn Ewoks. So yeah, that's going to do it for number 10. Moving on to number 11. At number 11, we have Luke Skywalker with his X-Wing. This one's actually pretty cool as well. I think it's a wind... Yep. Oh, that one actually works, like, really well. I was not expecting it to work that well. Yeah, I better get closer to the camera here. Reposition my seat. Hold on a minute here. But yeah, I wasn't expecting him to work that well. Wow. So yeah, at least this one still works. I can get him to come into the camera. Yeah, this one's in really good shape too. Oh, well, besides this big gaping crack in his hair there. That's just a seam though. I don't expect that to be any different if this was brand new. A little bit of scratches on his cheek. A little bit there. I don't know if you can see it. It'll focus. Little scratches here and there. But overall, pretty good. His X-Wing is in perfectly good condition. Very good sculpt. Very good design. It looks like an X-Wing. What would have been cooler is if they had the upper wing a little more above and not just flat on the other wing. Like if they could have raised it a little bit on an angle, it would have looked a lot cooler. But I can see why they didn't. But yeah, nothing really too cool. I mean, it's not painted or anything, but I mean, hey, it is an X-Wing. It does look accurate to the design in the movie of New Hope. So, and all the other movies. And that. So, yeah. That's basically all I have to say. Alright, taking a look at number 12, we have Princess Leia Organa with her blockade runner. We all know this ship as the Tantive 4 in New Hope, as well as Rogue One. It makes an appearance. This one's in pretty good shape, not gonna lie. From all the Star Destroyers running after it, I guess it's in really good shape. Yeah, there's no paint job or anything like that on the Tantive 4. It's just a plastic white mold. Besides all the deck, like all the detail in the mold itself, there really isn't much to talk about. There is this weird thing, but it is a rolling feature toy, so they had to put the wheels somewhere. But you know, I mean, I'm surprised they didn't have like maybe something else for this one, another feature or something like that. But I guess this is all they could really do. There's a lot of rolling features in this set. Leia Organa, she's got a little bit of cracked. You can see the seams for this one. I wish I didn't see those. I wish mine didn't have that problem, but I'm sure if she was brand new, I'm sure she'd still have that problem. You can see the seams as well on her hair line. You can see kind of a seam right through her hair. But overall, mine just looks tired. The face that I'm getting off this one is that she's tired. I don't know. She's had a long day running away from Empire Star Destroyers. I don't know. Galactic Empire Star Destroyers and Star Cruisers. So I mean, she must be really tired after all that battling and running away. I don't really remember her being a blockade runner. I mean, I guess if you call those Star Destroyers being in a blockade, I guess you can say that it's a blockade runner, but that's basically all I have to say about Leia Organa and her Tantive 4. Pretty cool. It's a good addition to my collection. Taking a look at number 13. Number 13, we have Asajj Ventress with her Vulture Droid. This one has a different feature than all the ones we've already taken a look at. This one has a light up feature where the lightsaber glows bright red in the dark. It's a glow up feature where you press a button at the back of the Vulture Droid here. And what this used to do is glow in the dark. The lightsaber would glow bright red, and you'd be able to see it in the dark. But unfortunately, mine does not work anymore. My batteries have died, or its batteries have died, I should say. And you'll find that out in a lot of these toys where the batteries are all dead or just worn out. But I think there is one in this set that still works, but I'm not quite sure. That is to be seen. But yeah, that's basically all she does. She does not have wheels on the bottom or anything. I do have the switch on, so that is a definite not gonna work kind of scenario that we are in. But other than that, I mean, very nice decal on the face for Ventress. Other than that, the Vulture Droid is very simple in design. No paint whatsoever. I think it's a pretty simple toy, not gonna lie. The face is really nice. So the head itself is has a really nice paint job and just design in general. Very nice to collect and find if you can. But yeah, I mean, mine has a scratch on the cheek, unfortunately, right there. I tried to rub it off, but it is a scratch, so it won't come off. But other than that, mine's in pretty good condition for where I found it. And yeah, I would have loved to get this one new. But just unfortunately, it's impossible to find these for a relatively cheap price. So yeah, that's basically all I can say about Ventress here. One of the most underrated characters of the Clone Wars. She never really got the proper ending that she deserved. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about Ventress. One of my favorite toys in this set. I gotta say, there's a lot of them that are my favorite though, so it's hard to pick and choose. But she is one of my favorites. But yeah, moving on to our next one. Number 14, we have Boba Fett and his Slave One. It's a real shame McDonald's didn't include Jango Fett in this set, along with other characters from the Star Wars franchise like Cat Bane, Jabba the Hutt, a Battle Droid, or Commander Cody. Those are the ones I can just name off the top of my head. It would be cool if they made a second set of these, which they did. Recently, they did re-release a set of Bobblehead toys for the newer Star Wars movies, but I mean, I'm not going to collect those because they're not Clone Wars or what George Lucas put out. They're all the newer stuff. So they don't interest me. But yeah, we got Boba Fett here with his rolling feature and his Slave One that's not painted at all. It's such a shame they didn't paint the vehicles in this set. I mean, they could have shown off nice paint deco and all that with the Slave One and all the other vehicles. I mean, with some they kind of painted them, but with a lot of them, they just didn't even bother to paint anything. So, I mean, at least the helmet's nice. I would have loved to see a little bit of battle damage with the helmet, Boba Fett's helmet. A little bit, maybe some dents or, I don't know, a little bit of wear from all his battles and fights. I don't know. Just a little bit more wear and tear with his helmet. I don't know. But, I mean, it gets the job done. You know who it is, so I guess it does its job. Funny thing is, I actually used to have a helmet of Boba Fett. It was like a Halloween costume kind of thing. And yeah, that helmet I had a lot of more wear and tear. It was supposed to all be there. Like the paint was different colors and stuff. I'll have to see if I can find it and I'll put it in this video. But, overall for a McDonald's toy, it does its job on looking like Boba Fett. It just would have been nice to have, if McDonald's included his father, I guess we could say, Jango Fett, with his blue. I mean, all it really is, all Jango Fett is just a recolor of Boba Fett's helmet, and then you just put the Slave One again. I don't really know how they do it, but there are ways that they could have accomplished Jango Fett and a lot of other characters from the Star Wars franchise. So, anyways, getting on, along with that's been said, let's move on to our next one at number 15. Amazingly, at number 15, we have Ahsoka Tano with her Twilight, I'm pretty sure. I'm looking at my phone. Yeah, this one was really hard to find. I'm not gonna lie. This one was absolutely obnoxious and overall impossible to find in my area. I mean, wow. I got lucky at the very end that I actually found her on Facebook Marketplace, and it was actually a little bit of a distance between my house. I had to take a bus all the way across the city just to get her. But yeah, when I said the worst, it's not that she is the worst. She's actually one of the nicest ones. I actually like her relatively the most. But they're all really good. All the toys are really good. All their faces look really accurate to the Clone Wars show and the movies. I mean, as best as they can anyways. They all got their Clone Wars look to them. But yeah, I don't know. She was just such a hard toy to find. I mean, one of the rarest McDonald's toys. I want to say Happy Meal toys in general to find. I mean, I got lucky that someone was actually selling her, and I actually got to buy her really cheap. I think she was like $15 or something, but she was worth it because online I'd be paying $30 or some crazy price because of shipping. So I got her relatively really good. I don't know if her tusks or whatever are yellowing. I'm pretty sure they're just supposed to be kind of yellowed, I guess. I'm not really sure. I looked on pictures and stuff, and they all kind of look like they're supposed to be yellowed a bit. But Anyways, mine's in alright condition. Actually, I think it's in better than alright. I mean, it's perfect for what I need for my collection. Anyways, it's got a little bit of scratches, but personally, I don't mind them. It does look like Ahsoka from Clone Wars, I'm not gonna lie. Like Asajj Ventress, her lightsaber does light up, but I think mine as well. This one no longer works. There is a little button behind the Twilight. It doesn't work anymore, unfortunately. The battery's probably all corroded and all that and given up. They're out of juice. But yeah, I mean, you can see what she did do, though. I mean, very obvious that her lightsaber used to light up green, bright green. But overall, it's just like the rest before it. There's no paint job on the ship itself, but there is lots of paint on the head. Really nice paint, too. A little bit of scratches. I mean, it's expected from a 16-year-old toy. I'm just proud to have this thing. I mean, wow. I still can't get over how hard it was to get it. I mean, but yeah, that's basically it. She's just a... Actually, I guess she doesn't have... Oh no, maybe I have to turn her on. No, she still doesn't work. I kind of forgot that I had to flick a switch at the bottom just to turn her on, but even if I did do that, she still doesn't work, so... But yeah, she actually doesn't have any wheels, so she can't really... I guess she can sort of spin, but that's about it. Not really even. I think she's just there for show. I mean, that's really all these guys are at the end of the day. Just toys for collectors. I mean, I don't expect kids these days to be playing with these. They're almost impossible to find unless they inherited them from their family member or something, or they luckily found them at a thrift store. I doubt they'll ever get the chance to have these in person. Or they were as lucky as me and found them all at one comic store in downtown, which is very unlikely. But there's a chance. I mean, I got lucky enough to get them all, and maybe someone else is too. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Ahsoka Tano. One of the best arced characters of Clone Wars. She had a lot of good episodes. And yeah, really good character of the Star Wars franchise. But yeah, I guess we should move on to the next one. Alright, taking a look at number 16, we have General Grievous and his 22 Starfighter. I'm going to look something up real quick. What was General Grievous's Starfighter called?
Soulless One. According to StarWars.com, Soulless One. General Grievous piloted this customized BELBULLAB-22 Starfighter, notable for its 2 sets of triple laser cannons, speed and agility. In the final days of the Clone Wars, Grievous flew the Soulless One to Utapau, and tried to escape the planet aboard his fighter.
There you go. I'm not going to be able to pronounce the name of the starfighter that he's driving, or he's operating, so I just call it the 22 Starfighter. But yeah, he's another light up. He has another light up gimmick with his lightsabers. I wish they could have given him 2 different colored lightsabers, but I can see why they couldn't. I'm gonna see if I can flick the switch. Oh, he actually has light. His actually work. I'm going to see if I can maybe turn off the lights. Hold on a minute, guys. Let's see if I can actually do something real quick here. I don't know if you guys can actually see that, but his lightsabers are actually lit up. So it is actually work. I might actually be able to show it better. Hold on. I'm going to turn all the lights off. Okay, now it's pitch black. Almost. Yeah, there you go. There's his lightsabers. But they look like they're fading. Oh god. They look like they're fading a little bit. But yeah, there you go. That's what it would have looked like for Asajj Ventress and Ahsoka Tano if their batteries worked. I'm going to turn the lights back on now. And all my recording lights, because it'll be way too dark in here if not. Yeah, you can see the difference my lights make. But yeah, I love his 22 Starfighter. I actually had a 3/4 inch toy of this exact fighter growing up, but mine got thrown away because I was playing around with it in my grandparents' pond. A fun story to tell, but it is a true story. I actually have General Grievous in 3/4 inch scale. I might actually bring him out for you just for this video, because why not? I'll go bring him out. I'm just gonna go pause the video. All right, so here's my 3/4 inch scale General Grievous, along with my McDonald's Happy Meal toy. Yeah, you can see the scale. Very different. I kind of regret trying to get this guy out. He was in my cabinet, I guess. I don't know what to call it, storage unit thing. So it was almost impossible to get him out. I had to move a couple things. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say about General Grievous and his 22 Starfighter. Very cool, very neat. And he's actually still functional. So that's really cool. His head does move, but it is kind of restricted. But yeah, I guess we should move on to the next one. Taking a look at number 17, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi with his Jedi Starfighter. I actually had a 3/4 inch scale version of this exact ship. I was playing with it at my grandparents' house, in their pond, and of course I got it taken away from me and probably thrown out. It's a sad story, but it's true. I have a long history with Star Wars toys in general. I grew up with Star Wars. I mean, I was born when Revenge of the Sith came out, and then in 2008 Clone Wars came out, and also in 2003, well, actually that was before I was born, so I guess that doesn't count. But I guess that was it. And in 2012 Lucas sold Star Wars to Disney, so that was basically it. Long history. But taking a look at the toy, it's a pull back, and basically that's about it. They didn't really paint much besides the little, I don't know, gray stripe thing in the middle. I don't know how to say it, but it's got a little R2 unit in the very front there, behind or underneath Obi-Wan Kenobi's neck, or below. It's got the Republic logo on the side or wing, I guess. It just looks like an orange or a tangerine, I guess. I don't know. To me, it doesn't look like the Republic logo. Here, I'll bring it up close to you guys. It just looks to me like an orange. I don't know. But other than that, it's got only 2 wheels. I'm surprised this one doesn't have 3. Because, I mean, it kind of sinks. When you put it on the table, it kind of just tilts forward. Like, it's not fully level. So it just kind of, I don't know, sinks forward or leans forward. Would have been cool to have 3 toys, or 3 wheels, I should say. I wanted to say 3 toys. I'm like, what? But yeah, other than that, not many scratches on this toy besides the cheek. A little bit there, you can see it. But other than that, his face is really nice. Very, very much reminds me of Clone Wars. And the also the Clone Wars movie that was aired before Clone Wars TV show. But yeah, very nice to have if you can get it. If anyone is a Obi-Wan Kenobi fan, this is a toy you definitely have to pick up if you can find it. But yeah, anyways, moving on to our very last one. At last, at number 18, we have Captain Rex of the 501st Legion. Oh man, this one's a nice one to have if you can find it. Mine's in pristine condition. Not a single scratch on the helmet. Maybe a little, I don't know, scrapes, but I'm looking at it and I'm not seeing a single one. Maybe just a tad, but really it's nothing. It's nothing. I mean, I don't even think the camera would pick it up. It's in great condition. One of my favorites from the set. Not gonna lie, one of my favorites. It's got the blue Republic gunship, so how can you go wrong with the Republic gunship? that's painted blue, of course. Really nice, just like Master Yoda's, just different paint variation, I guess. But yeah, pretty simple design. I mean, how can McDonald's mess it up? It's Captain Rex. I just wish we had Commander Cody to put alongside Captain Rex here. Maybe at number 19, I wish. Just imagine how great that would be to have these two on a shelf. Captain Rex and Commander Cody alongside each other. Man, that would have been nice. But alongside a lot of characters, McDonald's kind of missed a lot of characters from the Clone Wars show. A lot of big characters too, like, you know, Droid or just there's a couple I've already named. But yeah, I mean, it's Captain Rex. I want to say Commander, but it's Captain. But yeah, very nice. It's just a rolling feature. Surprisingly, this one actually has wheels. I can't remember if... Yeah, Yoda didn't have wheels on the bottom of his, so this is just a rolling feature. But yeah, really nice one to have if you can find it at number 18. And that's going to do it. Let's take a look at them all together, and yeah, we'll wrap up the video. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video on these 18 amazing bobblehead toys from McDonald's. Oh man, I know a lot of Star Wars fans probably don't like these toys. I never really understood why, but I heard that a couple years back that people just didn't like these. There was something uncanny about them or something like that. I thought the faces were pretty good, and the actions or gimmicks that these toys do was pretty good. It kind of gets repetitive after a while, but overall it's a pretty good set if you can find them. Pretty hard too, pretty hard to find. I'm not gonna lie there. But if you get lucky enough to find these all in their original bags, then I would certainly suggest for you to pick them up. I mean, they're one hell of a thing to have in your collection, if you can find them all. Especially like Ahsoka and the Clone Wars ones. They're definitely something to admire and look at while you're, you know, sitting in your room or something, or just having them as a desk piece or something. But yeah, I'm sorry this video didn't come out on May the 4th. I was hoping I could, but it just took way too long to make. I didn't anticipate how long, but I knew it was going to be long since I had to redo a couple shots. And it was at least, I mean, it is 18 toys in total, right? So it would take a while, and that's basically all I have to really say. Hopefully you guys will tune into the next video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and peace.